the world's most ridiculous growth spurt. So you're born from an egg the size of a football. Normal start, right? Wrong. You're destined to become 100 feet long and weigh 70 tons. Your growth rate is absolutely bonkers. You're gaining 22 pounds every single day during your teenage years. That's like eating a medium-sized dog worth of weight gain daily, except you're a vegetarian. Your parents are basically running a 24/7 all-you-can-eat salad bar that never closes and somehow needs to produce the caloric equivalent of a Thanksgiving dinner every few hours. The logistics are insane. Your mom has to find enough vegetation to feed something that's growing faster than a teenager's appetite during summer vacation. Except instead of raiding the fridge, you're literally eating entire forests. The food crisis nobody talks about. Let's talk about your daily routine because it's basically one long meal with occasional walking breaks. You need to eat 400 to 880 pounds of plants every single day. That's not a typo. You're essentially a living garbage disposal that only accepts salad. To put this in perspective, you're eating the equivalent of 1,600 heads of lettuce daily, every day, for your entire 60-year lifespan. If you were human, you'd spend roughly $2,000 per day just on groceries, and that's assuming Whole Foods gave you a bulk discount. Your neck is 40 feet long, which sounds awesome until you realize it's basically a biological crane designed for one purpose: reaching more food without having to move your 70-ton body. You can clear an area the size of a football field without taking a single step. You're like a living lawnmower, except instead of cutting grass, you're eating everything green within a 40-foot radius. The digestive system required for this operation is equally ridiculous. Your stomach holds 400 gallons. For reference, that's about the size of a small swimming pool. You're basically walking around with a hot tub full of fermenting vegetation in your belly at all times. Physics wasn't ready for you. Every step you take registers as a minor earthquake. Scientists can literally track your movements through seismic data preserved in rock layers. You're not walking. You're conducting a geological survey with your foot. Each footstep hits the ground with the pressure of parking a fully loaded semi-truck on a dinner plate. Walking to the watering hole isn't just exercise, it's infrastructure damage. You're like that friend who's always accidentally breaking things, except the things you're breaking are landscapes. Your heart weighs as much as a small car and has to pump blood through vessels wide enough for a kindergartner to use as a slide. Your blood pressure readings would instantly kill any mammal, but you've got specialized valves in your neck and legs that basically work like biological hydraulic systems. You're not just walking, you're operating heavy machinery. Despite weighing as much as 12 elephants, you can actually move pretty efficiently. Your stride length is 15 feet, which means you cover ground like you're wearing biological 7-league boots. You're basically fuel efficient, which is important when your fuel is every green thing within a 50-mile radius. Herd coordination. Nightmare. You live in herds, which creates the ultimate logistical challenge. Imagine coordinating a group camping trip where each person needs their own football field-sized area to eat lunch, and lunch takes 18 hours. 20 Argentinosaurus in a herd means you need an area roughly the size of Manhattan just for daily feeding. Your migration patterns aren't just following the seasons, they're strategic military operations planned around vegetation growth rates and carrying capacity calculations. Communication across the herd happens through low-frequency sounds that can travel for miles. You're basically operating a biological CB radio network, except instead of truckers talking about speed traps, you're coordinating where to find the good ferns. The social structure is practical. Kids in the middle, adults on the outside. It's like a moving fortress, except instead of protecting against enemy armies, you're protecting against carnivores who think your teenagers look like walking buffets. You share your world with Giganotosaurus, which is basically nature's way of saying, "You think you're big? Hold my beer." These predators are 40 feet long with teeth the size of bananas, and they think you look delicious. Here's the thing, though. Attacking a healthy adult Argentinosaurus is like trying to take down a moving building with your bare hands. The energy expenditure would be ridiculous, and the injury risk is basically guaranteed. It's the prehistoric equivalent of trying to wrestle a bulldozer. So predators focus on your kids, the sick, and anyone who wanders off from the group. This is why your social structure is so tight. Staying with the herd isn't just socializing, it's a survival strategy. You're basically in a constant state of buddy system enforcement. Your size itself is probably an evolutionary arms race response. Predators got bigger, so you got bigger, so they got bigger, so you got even bigger. until everyone involved was basically competing to see who could become the most impractically large creature possible. You're not just living in the environment, you're actively redesigning it with every meal. Your feeding patterns create clearings that allow new plant communities to establish. You're basically an accidental landscape architect with a specialization in forest management. Your waste products fertilize areas the size of small towns. You're a walking 70-ton fertilizer distributor. Modern farmers would kill for that kind of natural soil enhancement, except it comes with the minor drawback of having to share your land with creatures the size of office buildings. Your migration routes become highways for other species. You're not just traveling, you're creating infrastructure. Other dinosaurs follow your paths because you've essentially built roads by walking the same routes repeatedly and clearing out obstacles with your face